I'd like to welcome our first speaker, Gregory, of the Alliance of British Drivers.
Everybody hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks very much, Alex, for inviting me, and thanks everybody for coming. The brief I got from Alex and Ian was to come up with some ideas of how we could improve the situation of transport in London for motorised road users, because as he's already pointed out, Mr. Khan, who doesn't seem to be very well disposed towards motorised road users, has a strategy which is more about depressing the use of private mobility than actually encouraging it. I think it would be very helpful for the whole of the London economy if we could actually find somebody to take over from Mr. Khan, who has a more pluralist view of how transport should be run. But no, that's by the by. My own, well, I'll give you a list of points which I think we need to do to improve transport in London. The first thing is we need to depoliticise the Transport for London hierarchy, because they do seem to be very partisan and not at all well disposed, presumably because of their boss, towards motorised road users. The first thing I would do, and this may cause some controversy, I would dismantle the ULEZ zone and the associated charging regime, because it neither improves air quality nor does it improve congestion, accidents, or anything else. There is a gentleman in Scotland who's been looking at it, a guy called John Lamb. You can find him under the Twitter feed at John Fisk Scotland, and he's got quite a lot to say about charging zones in Aberdeen and other places in Scotland. And in fact, they were actually compliant before the regulations were even brought in, so there was no real justification for them. And I suspect if you look at the ULEZ zone, that would also be true, especially if you did the second thing, which is to remove all of the infrastructure which is bottling up traffic in the capital, badly phased traffic lights, bus build-outs instead of indents, all these things which slow down the traffic and move it at sort of speeds that are more conducive with a horse and cart wheel than the modern economy. So I would have all of that stripped out, and this would actually improve air quality, and in fact TfL knows that, and I've leave some copies out of this leaflet because it shows this report of TfL's actually shows that as you reduce traffic speeds down below 30 miles an hour, emissions actually ramp up almost vertically. So all of the bus lanes and the cycle lanes and the low traffic networks, or whatever they call them this week, and the 15-minute cities, all of this is actually making our air quality worse, and it's totally unnecessary if we got the infrastructure properly phased and properly built to actually make traffic travel at reasonable, sensible speeds, and base the road safety science on the correct road safety science, the 85th percentile principle and the Solomon curve. The other thing is this false hierarchy of road users. I don't think it helps to actually put one road user at the top of the pinnacle, because I think road safety is a shared enterprise. You need all road users to be looking after their own safety, and particularly the most vulnerable ones, because they've got the most to lose. So for me, no class of road users should have priority over any other, except the ones imposed by the road signage locally. The other thing is, it's a wider thing, that the current road safety regime has been consistently failing to cut casualties, and the reason is because they're so obsessed with speed as a cause of accidents. But when you actually look at DFT statistics in road casualties Great Britain, what you find is the commonest causes of accidents are all observation and hazard perception. They're fail to look but did not see, fail to judge the path of converging road user. So those represent probably 3/4 of the causes of accident, and illegal speed, which is the one that they're always chasing, is about 5% of accidents. Well, if you devote 95% of your resources to 5% of the accidents, you're not going to improve them. And it requires going back to first principles and actually teaching road users to observe what's going on around them and not spend their time glued to the speedometer, because that actually makes things worse. So yeah, I would like to see a regime that's based on observation, hazard perception and hazard response, which means you've got to have proactive road users who are watching the road around them and they're not obsessed with what the number is on a piece of tin. The other thing that I'd do is create an independent road accident investigation and prevention board, and I'd people it with professionals from a marine and aviation background, not these muppets who think that the only thing that matters is speed, because then we might actually get some improvement in road safety based on a training, observation, hazard perception approach, rather than just hitting everybody over the head with more and more automated enforcement and lower and no speed limits, which, as I said, economically are, well, they're Philistinic. I think that's about all I've got to say. Anybody got any questions?
Well done.